Suze in Lanzarote, and well, Jill's just had to go somewhere. Jane's in Dartmoor, so
it's no excuse.
I know. They need to turn their computer on. Okay, so I'll just say good morning to Di and to Sue and to Kath, who are taking the recording. And I'll mute you all. So, and let's come to Balasana to start. So bring yourself down to your mat. Take your knees wide, toes together, and reach your hands forward along the mat. And just allow your chest and your head to rest down towards the mat. So really feel that lovely stretch through the back. So those of you who saw my post on Facebook and in the WhatsApp group, I put a picture of Balasana. And it says if you do this pose for 5 minutes a day, you get so much benefit, stretching up into your shoulders, all the way down the sides of your ribs and down to your heels, down to your hips and to your heels. There's so much to Balasana, as well as it being our welcome release that we use throughout the practice. So use your exhalation in Balasana to ease those hips down towards the heels. And just use the opportunity to reach the hands forward along the mat, finding a nice stretch through the upper body. So our focus this week is on releasing stress and tension, particularly in the upper body. So we all hold a lot of tension up around our necks and shoulders. So we're going to be doing some of the little fascia release sections with the tennis ball, and I've come across some extra exercises that really work into the shoulders, into the trapezius muscle and into the muscle at the front, which is called the pectoralis minor, and also the subclavius, which I'll talk you through when we get there. Excuse me. And you really do see a benefit immediately after you've massaged with the ball. It's incredible. So just take another deep breath here. Just allow the body to settle. Just enjoy this little bit of awakening, waking up of the body. And on your next inhalation, come up onto your fingertips. So have your hands like claws and walk them around to the right-hand side as you exhale. So exhaling and allowing your chest to rest over your right thigh. Start to feel that opening in the left side of the body. So taking a breath here. And as you exhale, really try and send your hips down towards your heels. So you're lengthening through that left side, and reach in with the hands. And on your next inhalation, slowly walk the hands back to center, all the way around to the left-hand side. Exhaling and dropping down onto that left thigh. So taking your focus to your hips here, you lifting your right hip up and away. So try and drop those hips back. Feeling that extension through the right side of the body. Coming up onto your fingertips once more, walking the hands back to the center as you inhale. And just slide your hands back up through the center. Exhale as you come up to a high kneel. So bring your knees together, excuse me, and find some length through the spine as you sit in this kneeling position. Now, if this is no good for your knees, use your block or a blanket or a cushion and just tuck it underneath, just to relieve that tension on the knees. So this is Virasana, hero pose. So we're just sitting here, finding that straight spine before we do anything else. Release your shoulders down. Try and bring your shoulder blades together across your back, just sliding them down and together. Tummy muscles engaged. And your chin is parallel to the floor. So as you inhale, sweep your hands forward with your fingers, your palms facing each other. And we're just going to do some wrist therapy. So just fire your fingers out in front of you. Just like Spider-Man. Do this a few times and remember to keep breathing. This will start to generate some heat up into your shoulders. And now start to rotate your wrists. So really work into the wrists. They're rotating in opposite directions. Remember that straight spine. Keep your tummy muscles engaged to keep you up nice and straight. And then rotate the wrists in the opposite direction. So the heat will be building now in the arms. Keep breathing. And then have your hands as if you're pressing them against the wall in front of you. So really make those arms active. Have that feeling, it really pressing against something. Keep breathing. And then use your exhalation to point your hands down towards the mat. So it's as if you're pressing with the backs of the hands now. And then inhale as you take your fingertips out in the opposite direction. So imagine this is like an open gate. Don't let go of anything else. Shoulders are still relaxed, tummy muscles engaged. Inhale and bring your fingertips in to meet each other. So closing the gate. You're nearly there. Keep breathing. Exhale and release your hands. Just place your palms on your thighs. Find your Virasana, your hero pose. Just sitting up straight and tall and just feel that energy in your hands, in your arms, warmed up all the way to the shoulders. Just a simple exercise, but it gets the energy flowing. But no tension. Use your exhalation to let go of any tension. Well done. So taking your ball, we're going to do a few little exercises that I've discovered recently for the trapezius muscle to start with. So I'm just going to show you from the back. So if you imagine your trapezius muscle starts here at the base of the neck, and then it comes out in like a triangular shape over your back. So it comes all the way out to the side and then sweeps back in and then into the bottom of the spine. So it's like a diamond like this. So when we're trying to find this spot with the ball, go to the back of your neck here and feel down the side of the neck until you can feel where your shoulder blade, the scapula, starts. And we want the ball just above the scapula, so not too close to the neck, just above. So it's, I hope you can see where I'm pressing this ball into my back. So once you've got that position, just come down to the mat, and we're going to come to a semi-supine position. And if you can have a block handy as well, a block or a book, excuse me, just put that by your hips for the moment. Excuse me. So the ball goes behind your back. Remember that spot we're aiming for. Lying back onto the ball. So, oops, getting it underneath that spot. So you're not lying on the scapula, on the shoulder blade. It's just above the shoulder blade. So you will start to feel some tension there. Now, if you can lift your hips and place them on your block, and the height of your block is your choice. So if you're used to this sort of thing, you can go up much higher. So what I'd suggest for today, just have your lower height. And as you come to practice this over the next couple of days and weeks, then you can build up the height. So as you're lying in this position, just let your arms relax alongside you and hold that ball. So you're going to find quite a tight spot here. So use your breath to release into it. As you exhale, you can really allow the shoulder to relax over that ball. And you'll know you're in the right spot because you will feel that relaxation happening as you release. So I hope, Pete, if you didn't find the ball, you're getting some feeling with the rolled up socks. It's just creating some tension underneath that area. So now just have a little bit of a wiggle with your shoulders and just massage around that area. And then go left and right. So you might find what we refer to as hot spots, any area that's particularly tight. And if you find it, then just allow a few seconds to rest on that hot spot. And now just lifting your shoulder away from the ball a little bit. We want to move the ball a bit closer to your neck. So just slide it over. So again, we're missing the bony part of your shoulder blade and we're missing the spine. And you're finding that place really close to the neck. So you just moved it over slightly. So hold it there for a moment. And then as you inhale, reach your right hand up and overhead. And then exhale as you send it back in a big circular motion. So you're sweeping the hand back along the mat and then bringing it up and over. And if you're in the right spot, when you send your hand overhead and around to the side, you might even feel the muscles slipping underneath the ball. So do that 3 times. And then the next time you bring the hand up and overhead, let it drop down towards the mat behind you and turn your head towards the left. Taking a breath here, but really allowing the exhalation to release over the ball. And then release your hand back down to the mat. Just roll yourself, excuse me, off the block and the ball and just come up to seated for a moment. And I just want you to try what happens now when we reach our hand up. So we're just finding a comfortable seat. Inhale and reach this right hand up into the air. Can you feel any difference in the shoulder? Does it feel lighter and more released? And then release the hand down. And now do the same on the left-hand side. Inhale and reach it up. Oh, this one feels a bit more stuck. So I hope you're getting that same feeling. So we're going to go and rectify that. We're going to get to the ball and put it on the left-hand side. So remember, find that space on the back above the shoulder blade, but a few inches away from the spine. So we don't want it too close to the neck to start with. And then lie back on the ball and have your hips lifted on the block. So when you first come down, just let that ball find that position, settle into it. Use your exhalation to release. It'll find a position there, and initially you'll think, oh, there's no way I can stay with the ball in that position. But as you exhale, somehow you use your exhalation to just release that muscle around the ball. And then ease it left and right. So just shimmy in with your upper body, left and right, and around in a bit of a circle, just massaging that area, really working into this trapezius muscle, into the area where it connects up to the base of the neck. And then lift your shoulder away from the ball, enough so that you can release the ball just a couple of inches out to the left. So again, you're not hitting that scapula, it's in the fleshy area before the top of the shoulder. Inhale, lift your hand up and overhead. Exhale, sweep it around. So 3 times. So using that exhalation, you feel that muscle under the ball. And then as you inhale, reaching your hand up and overhead, let it drop to the mat behind you. And exhale and turn your nose to the right-hand side. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release the hand. Lift yourself up and away from the ball and come back to seated. Let's have a little test with this left hand, reaching it up and over. How does it feel? Mine is certainly going back a little bit more than when I first started. So I hope you're finding a real improvement there. So we're going to do another little thing with the ball. So if you can just go towards the wall, but I'm just going to show you first of all up close. Just take this jumper off. So the muscles that we're going to work on are this one that runs, so where your collarbone is, if you think these, where my fingers are, this is where the collarbone is coming together in the middle, and then it sweeps out. So we're going to go immediately under the collarbone, so the middle section under the collarbone, and we're going to place the ball there. So that's the one area. And then the other one, the pectoralis minor, is under the arm, and it comes from the top of the shoulder into the rib cage, and it sort of spreads out. It's actually like this, 3 fingers. So it joins here and joins with the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th rib at the top. And it's this muscle that controls this movement here. So if we're hunched over bikes, or if we're driving, or we're sitting in front of the computer, we tend to bring our shoulders forward. So we want to release that shoulder, that muscle, so that we can bring the shoulders back and really improve our posture and release the tension. So we're going to do that one first. So we take the ball into that area, just to the left of the chest, and we're going to go to the wall and lean into the wall enough so that you can rest your head against the wall. Can you see me as well as my bike? So I'm leaning into the wall. So just find that position. And then if you want to add to it, you can bring your left hand up towards the same sort of height as where the ball is. Otherwise, you just want to hold it there. Just stay, but really lean into the ball. Releasing. So don't create any tension here. Your shoulders are relaxed. Leaning into that ball and just have a little shimmy up and down. And if you've got the right position, you really feel that muscle moving up and down, wrapping itself around that ball. Well done. So this is a nice massage to do. So now we're going to try with this subclavius, the one that's under the collarbone. So take the ball to the middle part of the collarbone, and this time just lean into the wall, and you're going to run that ball along the lower part of the collarbone. So it's not on the collarbone itself. The muscle is literally in a line underneath the collarbone. So you're just working left and right, easing into that muscle. And again, with this one, if you want to increase the tension, you can take the back hand. So I'll show you with my front hand here and just slide it up the wall. So it does add a little bit more tension to it. So the hand sliding up and release it back. Okay, so just repeat that on the other side. So we need to do this pectoralis minor. So we're finding this one underneath the arm, that the muscle that joins from the top of the shoulder to the ribs, and just lean in, but rest your head against the wall. So really try and get into that muscle. Using your exhalation again to release into the muscle. Seeing if I can see you all, yeah. So I'm hoping that you're feeling that muscle as you roll the ball into the wall. And then lastly, move to the subclavius, the one that runs underneath the collarbone. So on the other side, and you're just starting from the middle, so you don't go beyond the center where the knobbly bit is at the end of the collarbone. Just leaning in. And again, you can use your hand if you want to add any more tension to it. Well done. So the reason why we're releasing these two is that, as I explained, it stops us getting to be round-shouldered. So you can come back to your mat now if you've finished those moves. And we're going to come to all fours. So it creates tension up here in the body, and those two muscles tighten up as we sit and we drive, or we sit and we work our computers, and then gradually our shoulders will move forward like this. And the other time that we create tension is in some of the yoga moves themselves. So when we're doing things like downward facing dog, if we're putting too much emphasis on our shoulders because we're not using our core, we end up tightening up through the shoulders. So it's a really good thing to do to release these muscles, free up your shoulders when you're doing any of those sort of arm strengthening poses, and then you send the focus back to your core, which is where it should be. Okay, so we're going to come to an all fours position. So just spread your hands wide under your shoulders, Knees under your hips. And let's put into practice some of the things that we just released there. Let's see if we can move fluidly through some of these moves. So taking your gaze to the mat, engage your tummy muscles. Deep breath in. As you exhale, just drop your head towards the mat, rounding through the spine, coming up into cat. Just so you're feeling any freer in your upper shoulder girdle. Excuse me. Breathe in at the top. Exhale, sinking down into cow. So sending your chest and your chin forward. Once more, inhale. Exhale to cat. Inhale. Exhale to cow. Inhale. Exhale to cat. Inhale. Exhale to cow. Inhale, come back to all fours. Exhale, sit your hips back to your heels, reach your arms forward. You're back in Balasana. So we're going to do a movement between Balasana and Cobra. It's called striking Cobra. So reaching your arms forward along the mat, spread your fingers wide. Inhale, bring your body up through all fours. Exhale as you release your knees behind you, slide your hips down to the mat. Arms tightly alongside your chest, you're in Cobra. Take a breath here. As you exhale, lift yourself up and away from the mat, send your hips back to your heels. Arms stay where they are, just reaching along the mat. Balasana. Inhale, coming back up through all fours. Exhale, slide those knees away, slide the body down to the mat, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Low Cobra. Keep your core engaged. Inhale, lifting yourself up, sliding back to Balasana. So try and do this as fluidly as you can. Your hands should be staying roughly in the same place. You're just moving through the spine, striking Cobra. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you sit your hips back to your heels. Inhale through all fours, coming down to Cobra. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Coming back into Balasana for the last time. Take a breath here. Inhale and bring yourself up to all fours. Just come up onto your toes and just walk your hands back towards your feet. Come into Uttanasana, forward fold. Let your head drop towards the mat. Find that lovely stretch through the hamstrings. Inhale and taking your hands out wide, coming up with a nice straight spine. Tummy muscles engaged, hands to the heart center. Well done. So we're going to do a nice little flow. Sun salutation A. Seeing how our shoulders feel as we come through these moves. So taking a breath in, reach your hands out and up. Take your gaze to your palms, mini back bend. As you exhale, bring your hands through the midline, down through the center, bend your knees, hands or fingertips to the floor. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale and slide your hands up to your shins. Create that half forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, slide your hands down to the mat and walk your hands out along your mat into plank. Take a breath here. Exhale, knees to the mat. Release your feet, bending your elbows, coming into up dog or cobra. You choose. So if it's cobra, you can go closer to the mat, squeezing those shoulders together, squeezing the arms alongside the body. If it's up dog, you can come up onto your 10 toes, just holding in that position. Gaze is forward, just protecting the back of your neck. Inhale, rolling over the toes, coming up to downward facing dog. So this is our first down dog. So let's just have a little walk of the feet and just think about your shoulders here. Try and find some ease in those shoulders. Don't sink into them. Don't tighten them up. Create some tension around your tummy. So bringing the tummy muscles back towards your spine. All your strength should be there. Your arms should be moving freely. Your shoulders should move freely. So let your heels rest down towards the mat. Inhale and walk your hands back towards your feet. Back into Uttanasana, forward fold. Drop your head towards the mat. Inhale and slide your fingertips up to your shins, half forward fold. Exhale back to Uttanasana, fingertips or hands to the mat, dropping the top of the head. Releasing through the shoulders. On your next inhalation, bending your knees, take your hands out wide, strong, straight spine, bring yourself up. Mini back bend. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Everyone okay? I think I saw some thumbs up. Brilliant. I'm going to do that once more. So find your Tadasana. Palms are well grounded into the mat. Everything is stacked, one on top of the other. Shoulders should feel nice and free and relaxed. Tummy muscles engaged. Inhale, take your hands up and overhead. Mini back bend. Exhale, bring your hands through the center, bend your knees, come down to Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips or hands to your shins, half forward fold. Exhale, take your hands back to Uttanasana. Inhale, walk your hands out along the mat, plank position. Exhale here. Inhale, knees to the mat, taking your weight through the shoulders. You're coming into up dog or low cobra, you choose. So if it's low cobra, hips down, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Up dog, you might be balancing on your 10 toes, but not creating tension in these shoulders. Inhale, roll over the toes, come up to downward facing dog. Dropping your head through your arms, engaging your tummy muscles. Send your ribs towards the tops of your thighs. Releasing through the shoulders, just dropping your head. Inhale, walk your hands back towards your feet. Uttanasana, forward fold. Exhale here. Inhale, sweeping your hands out wide, bringing yourself back up into Uttanasana, into Tadasana, arms overhead, and add the mini back bend. Inhale as you bring yourself back upright, hands to the heart center, Tadasana. Exhale. So let's add in another little move here. So standing tall in Tadasana, tummy muscles engaged, spread your feet wide on the mat. Inhale as you sweep your hands forward, up and overhead. Exhale as you sit back into your imaginary chair, Utkatasana, chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, bring your palms together and twist to the right-hand side. So your left elbow is resting on your right thigh. So sitting back into those hips. Don't create tension in your neck and shoulders here. We want our core to do the work. We're not turning our neck into our core. So keep that free. Take a breath in. As you exhale, drop your left hand towards the outside of your right ankle and reach your right hand up and overhead. You're opening out. And if your neck is okay, you can take your gaze to your right hand. How are the shoulders feeling here? Inhale, bring the palms together. Exhale, sweep the hands forward, bringing yourself back up to Tadasana. Whew. Taking a breath. Just let everything settle. Feel as though all the weight of the body is just dropping down through the legs, down into the mat. Releasing the shoulders. No tension here. Tummy muscles engaged. Go again on the other side. Taking a deep breath in. Sweep the hands forward. Exhale as you sit back into Utkatasana, chair pose. Taking a breath here. Inhale, bringing the hands together, exhaling, twisting around, taking your right elbow to your left thigh. So see if you can bring your hands towards your chest. You're lifting your chest and sending the top of the head out in front of you. Inhale. Release the left hand down to the outside of the the right hand to the left foot. Left hand goes up to the ceiling. Take your gaze to that hand. Only if your neck's good. Otherwise, just you can look down to the mat. Breathing in. Breathing out, bring the palms together. Inhale, sweeping the hands forward. Exhaling, coming back to Tadasana. Just release your hands to alongside your body. Have a little shrug of your shoulders. Just have a little feel into those shoulders. How are they feeling? Hopefully, a little bit freer. So just bring yourself back down to your mat. Ooh, big click of the knees. And come to semi-supine. So lying down on the mat, knees are bent. Just take a moment here. Just allow your spine to rest down into the mat. And then bring your feet in as close to your hips as you can. And as you exhale, just roll the knees out to the side, soles of the feet come together. Hands are just out in a gentle V, palms facing up. So you're in Supta Baddha Konasana. Just allowing everything to let go. As you inhale, bring your hands up and overhead. Exhale them to the mat behind you. Backs of the hands rest on the mat. Inhale, sweeping them around in a big circle. Exhaling them up and over, resting them back on the mat, backs of the hands. Really reaching through the shoulders. Can you feel that movement through your shoulder blades, the scapula? So sweeping the hands around, reaching them up and over. So the next time you exhale your hands back towards your knees, just gently bring the knees together. Release the legs out along the mat. So just lying out on the mat. Inhale and take your hands up into the air. So you're reaching up to the ceiling. So bring your fingers together, but have your thumbs active. Your thumbs are separate from your fingers. Reaching up and out of your shoulders. You can feel how you're balancing on the spine almost as the shoulders come away from the mat. So have your feet active. Imagine you're pressing them against the skirting board. So your legs will now activate. Inhale. As you exhale, send your right thumb to touch the mat behind your head. Inhale, bring the hands back up. Exhale in the left hand. So the movement is just all through the shoulders, engaging your tummy muscles, sending the right hand back to the mat. Just the thumb touches, reaching back up, send the left hand back. Touch the thumb, bringing the hands back up. So just working through our shoulders here, reaching up and over. Straight hand, that's it. So once you've done your left hand once more, just release your hands back to the mat alongside you and bend your right leg in towards your left knee. So plant the foot down on the mat. Take your hands out in a T shape. So see if you can just lift your right foot up and away from the mat and just hook the toes under the left thigh. Breathing in. As you exhale, drop the right knee over to the left-hand side and really focus on keeping those shoulders in contact with the mat. So you're creating a lovely twist. The shoulders are connected to the mat. Tummy muscles are engaged, so you're working your core here. And if your neck is good, you can take your gaze to your right hand. Just hold in there for a few breaths. Inhale, bring your head back to center. Bring your right leg back into that upright position. So rolling back onto the mat. Release your right leg away from you. So do the same on the other side. Inhale as you bend your left knee, plant the left foot just to the right, the left-hand side of your right leg, and see if you can hook the toes underneath the thigh. Inhale, exhale, and send that knee over to the right. So it won't go too far. Keep the shoulder in contact with the mat. So this is all about creating that extra twist up to the shoulders. And we're getting the added bonus of the twist down towards the waist. And the weight of the leg just adds to that twist as you open up through the left-hand side. Keep breathing. Take your gaze over to your hand if your neck feels good. So your gaze in the opposite direction of the bent knee. That's it. Michelle, I know the cat's giving you a nice bit of attention there. So keep breathing. And then as you inhale, just bring your knee back to center, bring your head back to center, release the leg away from you. And then hug your knees up and over your chest. Just bend your knees, hugging them up and over. Just have a little roll left and right. Maybe in a circular rotation as well as you're massaging through the spine, and send it in the opposite direction. And then take your hands to your knees and allow your toes to touch. So your knees will drop out to the side, and just turn your knees in a clockwise motion. So you're really working into the back of the pelvis. And then turning it in the opposite direction. Hugging your knees up and over your chest once more. Release them back, release your feet back to the mat. Take your hands out wide. So allowing the whole of the shoulders to relax down into the mat. Releasing the back of the head. Releasing the neck. Taking a breath in. As you exhale, let your knees drop open. Soles of the feet come together. So we're back in Baddha Konasana. Now this time, turn your hands so that your palms face upwards. And just bring the hands a little bit closer to the legs, just in that gentle V. Just find that position where you feel completely relaxed in the shoulders. Just allowing the shoulders to rest down towards the mat. And check what's happening with your lower back. Are you lifting that away from the mat? So use your exhalation to let it drop. So we're just going to take a few minutes here in Supta Baddha Konasana. This is a very nice, relaxing pose. Just allows you to let go through the whole of the body. Releasing your face, releasing your chin, your neck, your shoulders. Feel those shoulder blades sinking down into the mat. Just letting go through the arms, the backs of the hands. Just letting the fingers drop down towards the mat. Working your way down to your hips. Just allowing them to drop open with the weight of the legs. There's no tension here. There shouldn't be any discomfort. Just allow the knees to drop to the side. If you find it too much on your inner thighs, then you can take some blocks and just prop up your legs, or take 2 cushions on either side. But I want you to feel that you're just letting go in this position. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Just take a few moments to let go before you start your busy days. So gently bringing some awareness back now. Slide your hands down to behind your knees. Gently bringing them back into the upright position. And then slide your legs away from you along the mat. Taking a deep breath in, reach your hands up and overhead. Reaching out along the mat, pointing with your fingers and your toes. Do a full body stretch. And then just reach with one hand and then the other as if you're climbing up a ladder. Reaching away through the shoulders. And then release your hands back alongside the body. Inhale and bend your knees, planting your feet on the floor. And as you exhale, just roll over onto your right hand side, hugging your knees up close to your chest. Just giving yourself a moment. And then when you're ready, bring yourself up to an upright position, into a comfortable seated position. We'll just finish with our 3 breaths together. So taking your hands out wide, fingertips to the mat, sitting up straight and tall. Inhale, reaching up and overhead, palms come together. Exhale through the midline, hands to the heart center. Inhale, out and wide. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Namaste. How do you all feel